Eamon, you're there. You're in one of the worst hit areas. Can you walk us through what you've seen so far?
Sure. I've worked in many areas of conflict before, and yesterday walking around here in Mati really looked like a war zone. The streets were lined with scores of cars that were totally gutted out. The metal had been twisted and melted by the intensity of the heat. Dead animals lined the streets. There were yellow body bags cordoned off by police. Residents wandered down the alleyways and streets here looking for their cars, their possessions, their homes. Missing neighbors and relatives. I saw one woman holding a piece of metal, and I asked her what it was, and it was her car. And it had been a new car. She only had about 4,000 kilometers on it, and it was the only piece of it she could still take with her. And she'd lost her home and all her possessions in the fire. And for someone living in a country that's in economic crisis, this is really hits her hard. That woman, like many I spoke to, survived by taking shelter in the sea when the flames came, and they came quickly. Lots of residents abandoned their homes and cars, and went into the sea, covering themselves with water and facing their backs towards the flames. They waited there for 3 hours before being rescued by the Coast Guard. Not everyone was so lucky. Emergency crews found a group of 26 people, including families and young children, who had been huddled together, some of them still embracing. They were trapped as they tried to find an escape route between the fire and the sea. They were stuck on a cliff and they couldn't go anywhere. If they jumped, they would have died on the rocks. And if they stayed, they got asphyxiated and died, which is what they did. So pretty awful scenes here all around. Total carnage and devastation. It seems a little better today, but there's still aeroplanes and helicopters flying in the sky, and rescue workers are still looking for missing people.